Hello everyone, it's Ben here again with the Papa Ben YouTube channel. I again want to take time to thank you for taking time out of your life to spend with me here and listen to what I have to say. It is humbling to think that how chaotic of a world and busy world we live in, that you'd take time and invest it in listening to me, watching my videos. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you for that. As I've said before, the YouTube way of showing that is liking the video, clicking the subscribe button, watching the video, sharing it with your friends. Appreciate all that as well. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the day I became a grandpa. As I said before, I think it's the single most life-changing day that I've had. I don't know. It's interesting when I've said that many times, that to friends and to other people when I tell stories, that how much it changed my life to become a grandpa on that day, and I really do remember a lot about it. At that time in my life, I was divorced from my first ex-wife for quite a few years. I was dating the woman who recently became my second ex-wife. So you probably won't hear a lot of relationship advice on this channel. I do have 2 divorces to my credit, and that adds a level to grandparenting, but that's a story for another day. But at that point in my life, I had a Snap-on tool franchise, and was in Fessenden, North Dakota that day on my route, which would have been a Wednesday, because every other Wednesday is when I went there. And I got the phone call, and I remember standing in that truck and thinking that this is unbelievable. There was just a sense of something that came over me. I don't know if it was peace. It was some peace. It was some thrill, some expectation, some fear. How am I going to do this? What will I be able to provide to this child? And it was just overwhelming. I can't imagine what it was like for my daughter. I thought about that too. You know, this was over 12 years ago, and I think about how she felt in that instance as well, how I could be there and be supportive for her. I couldn't wait to get through the rest of that route that day. I wanted to get to the hospital and see him. I knew that they needed some time to settle in and all that stuff that goes on with having a baby, but I was in a hurry to get there, and it was almost indescribable. I hope that other people have had that experience as well as they become grandparents, and I hope that if you are going to become a grandparent, if it's happening in your future, that you can meet it with as much joy and excitement that came to me with it. And he, man, I had no idea how much, not just that day, but how much he was going to change the trajectory of how I thought, how I acted, and how I looked at the world. It really just changed my perspective. And I don't know that it makes it so about him per se. You know, as I said before, the days my children were born certainly were life-changing and exciting and filled me with joy and pride. The days that the other grandkids were born also. I think it was just the idea that now I was a grandpa, and it just opened up a whole new window of possibilities of where we could go and what we could do. And I had no idea the adventures we'd go on in this short time. You know, in a life, 12 years is a short time to me. And we've been all over the place. We've done a lot of things, and we've shared a lot of things together. And I call him the OG. He's the original grandchild, and I think he gets a kick out of that. But yeah, that day was one I hope I never forget. I hope I can remember that for the rest of my life. Like I said, it just opened up so many possibilities in my mind. What we could do, where we could go, the adventures we could do, and things I could re-see for the first time through his eyes. You know, I talked about it before, but I think that one of the biggest differences is the spot that I was at in my life. You know, when my kids were born, we were newlyweds, young. You know, we're barely 20, having children, starting a life, and we had all those things going on, paying bills, worrying about work, just so many distractions that you know, if I could go back, I would tell myself that those things really don't matter, that the time we could spend with family and friends and our children is what really matters, and just be able to absorb some of that. I think that was the big difference. That later, you know, being 20 years older, when Brody was born, that I just did not have the same distractions in my life, and he really helped me to focus on not being distracted. He helped me to focus on him, and I think that was part of the big change in my life. I was able to actually not worry so much about myself in the day-to-day life, but understand how precious the time we have with our kids and grandkids are, how important that time is, and how limited it is. It's almost like I feel like the clock started ticking the day he was born, as how much can we squeeze in and how much can we do. And that's been a gift to me. It's really been a gift to me. It's not easy to do. You know, it's another one of those things in life, I think, where we're told and we understand that it's simple, but it's not easy. And it does take focus, but I'm glad I put the effort into it. He and I have a great relationship. You know, he's going to be a teenager next year, and I remember parts of being a teenage boy and the struggles, and I think remembering that too helps our relationship. I'm able to put myself in his shoes a little bit and think about what would I want somebody to tell me when I'm 12, 13 years old, if I can go back and think about that. And that's one of the things that I do, is I try to put myself in his shoes now. That's the challenge to myself, but also the reward is that I can see when we connect. I can see when we connect on something that I've said to him, and he gets it, and it has value to him, and he understands it, and that really makes it feel like it's worth my effort. It makes me feel good inside that I have something to contribute to him. You know, that time on that day he was born, what he did for me and my perspective on life is immeasurable, and I'm glad that it happened. It changed the trajectory of my life, I can tell you that. And like I said before, I hope that other people out there have been able to experience that in the same way. And again, if you're not a grandparent yet, but it's coming down the pipe at you, that to look at it with that joy and expectancy. It's truly a gift to be a grandparent, and the time that I invest in it is very rewarding, and it gives my life purpose and meaning, like I've said before. So that's just a little bit about you know, the day I became a grandpa, what started this whole journey that's now on YouTube and being shared with the world, I guess. There's no other way to put it. Yeah, thanks again for taking some time out of your life to spend it with me. And, You know, the old click the like and subscribe. And if there's something that you want to hear, questions that you have for me, topics that you'd like to know or have me share my experience on, I would certainly welcome that. Feel free to ask that in the comments. And I look forward to the next time that I can get to spend with you and the next thing that we talk about. Thanks again for watching the Papa Ben YouTube channel. Keep grandparenting great.